Hey everybody, it's Justice for Comics. It is Tuesday. Just wanted to record a very quick video here highlighting a comic book that is going to be on a lot of people's radar this week. Joker #2. There are some spoilers, so if you don't like spoilers, go ahead and turn off the video or click on something else. So Bleeding Cool just posted this on April 11th, a few days ago. I didn't get a chance to record this video earlier, otherwise I would have. But there is a new DC character coming out in Joker #2. I pre-ordered the A and B covers, and I also grabbed a 1 in 25 last week for like $25 shipped, which is a good deal. This is the one though that I think everyone's going to be hunting for. It is the Bane cover, Bane's daughter. That is her. She's putting on the mask. So the daughter of Bane, I guess her name is going to be Vengeance, is what it looks like, according to this article here. I've not read the comic book. I don't have it yet in hand, but I will go over, what you can kind of do to see if you can grab this. Obviously, this is already on eBay. There's several listings. If you were really early, which I was not, unfortunately, if I had known about this early last week, probably could have grabbed this for around $100 to $150. The price right now seems to be around the $200 to $250 range. So if you are picky and patient, maybe you can get it around $200. There has been a rawhide sale at $350. So that's pretty darn expensive for a 1 in 50 incentive cover. But it sounds like the reason this book is as expensive as it is because they basically kept this a secret. There was no indication that, there was nothing in the solicitation that there was a new character being introduced, and no one knew about this cover, the specific secret variant, until after FOC. So all the retailers, they either, I think most of the retailers ordered really heavy on Joker #1. Why? Because it's a first issue. That's kind of typical. Most shops are going to order pretty heavy on the first issue. And then on the second issue, their order volume is going to drop substantially. Definitely by the third or fourth issue, they're probably ordering maybe 20 to 30% of what they did in the first issue. That's just absolutely typical for most comic book shops. Even though the Joker is a book that you would pretty much think would sell pretty well, Joker's a very popular villain, but still not a book that's going to sell anywhere near the level of a Batman. For instance, Batman sales are much, much higher. So to get this book, most retailers I could see not ordering 50 copies. I mean, I could see most of them ordering 25. Maybe they ordered 50 because they wanted to have a couple copies of that 1 in 25 by Federici, which is a nice cover. It's a Punchline. It's a cover of Punchline done by Federici. It's a really nice cover. So there will be some shops that ordered 50 copies, mainly because they're trying to get 2 copies of that Federici cover. So I'm on the fence on this. I decided to grab one for $225. I could be regretting it. I was kind of hoping, I was initially thinking, yeah, this book's going to be expensive out of the gate. Kind of like what I saw before with Robin King, right? We all saw that exploded. I grabbed a copy early at around $75, and there were people that paid up to $400 for it. So, obviously, FOMO can get the best of all of us. But $225, I guess I can live with that. I mean, if this book does go back down to being about a $100 book, I don't think it goes below 100. I just don't think there's going to be enough of them out there, and it is a possibility that this book is much more rare, just because it just was not a cover that was ever solicited, and by the time people found out about it, it was already after final order cutoff. So there was no way for retailers to scramble to try to order, a bunch of copies to get this. That was it. So the retailers that were lucky enough to say, hey, I'm going to order 50 copies of the A and B cover so that I can get 2 copies of the Federici variant cover, they're going to be pleasantly surprised because they will be getting 1 copy of this book. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm not going to say every comic book shop is going to get this. I'm going to say maybe half, maybe 40% of the comic book shops out there are going to get one of these. So this book is going to be fairly rare, but it's not going to be as rare as you would think. But I don't know. I'm on the fence on this. I decided to hedge myself by buying at least 1 copy. And yeah, $225 is not a cheap price, but yeah, I don't know. You can get the first appearance of Bane for probably cheaper in pretty high grade. So yeah, that's something to think about. So it's a first full appearance, no doubt about it. Not a cameo. So this book will have a key collecting ability. This will be a key book. It's not a cameo. It's a first full appearance. She speaks. She's fully revealed. Yeah, it should be an origin. I mean, everything is right there in this issue. So it's got all the elements to make it a book that I think is good to have in the collection long term. Whether or not you want to spend extra money to have, her first cover appearance. I mean, it is a pretty cool cover. I dig it. I like it. I think it's going to be one of these books, maybe 5 years down the road, will still have a lot of value and appeal. Who knows, though? I don't know. I mean, it's a villain. Villains don't typically hold value as much as heroes. So, yeah, I'm on the fence on this. I got to tell you, I felt a little FOMO, and I just felt like I need to hedge it and pick up one just in case. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So if you go on eBay right now, so this is the article from Bleeding Cool, and you can see here it says it will appear on retailers' invoices as Santa Prisca, and Bleeding Cool has now had a leaked peek from the issue out on Tuesday from DC Comics, and we now get the code reference to the item as well. Because the Santa Prisca fictional DC Caribbean island and Bane's home, scientists are up to stuff. After all, this is where the performance enhancer drug known as Venom was perfected. Yeah, so there's the scene, probably the last page of the book, I would think. Yeah, it's going to be a key book. It's going to be a hot book. This cover is going to be highly sought after. If you go on eBay right now, you can. I looked under Joker #2, Santa Prisca, Secret Santa Prisca, I think is what comes up the best. And you can see there's a couple buy it nows at $200. There's one at $333. There's an auction at $178 with 2 days left. Another auction at $155. A brand new auction just listed with 6 days left. So, how many listings we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 listings, and it looks like about half of them are auctions. So, obviously I paid $225. I could buy it right now for $200. There is a buy it now for $200 plus $750 shipping. Yeah, I mean, it's a cool looking cover. It doesn't look like it's a foil or anything like that. I can't really tell if it's like a cardstock type cover, so I'm assuming it's going to be a cardstock type cover, so thicker cover, just like the B covers are usually from DC, which means, I would imagine most of these are going to grade at 9.8. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any. I mean, most of the ones I've looked at on eBay, most of them have like a little flare at the corner, right? That's kind of a common thing. So I don't know. Maybe this book, for instance, will get a 9.6 because of that. It's hard to say. I mean, I've seen books that have that and are 9.8 graded. So it doesn't mean CGC won't grade this a 9.8. I've definitely seen examples where they've done that. But yeah, I mean, I just thought I would do a quick video. I did post on Facebook, on CBSI's Facebook page. I was the first one to post about this. I'm a little surprised by that. I just did it today. I communicate with Ben all the time. He's the editor of the Hot 10 list. I made him aware of it, so I'm pretty sure it's going to show up this Friday on the Hot 10 list. I'd be willing to bet money on that. I know Billy has already posted a video. He's usually the first out of the gate to do things like this. He posted a video, I think earlier today or last night, talking about this book. With the same assessment I have, I do think it's going to be a hot book. People are going to be scrambling to try to find it. So it will show up on the Hot 10 list, and what it does from there, who knows? Maybe the price will go up more. It just depends on supply and demand. It's right now, there's no real clear indication of how many there are out there of this book. So I'm glad it's not a one per store. There's a couple listings that say one per store. I actually emailed a couple of them, and they're correcting the listing because it's not a one per store. If this was a one per store, there's no way I would have bought it, because there's 3-4, I don't know how many stores are in the U.S., at least 3,000 comic book shops. This would not be a very rare item if it was a one per store. So most likely this is, not most likely, it is a 1 in 50, so it just depends how many stores decided to order 50 copies. I think there's a fair amount that did, just because of that Federici cover is pretty nice. But there's no way all of them did. There's probably half. I'm going to say 40 to 50% of the shops might have ordered 50 copies. So there's going to be a pretty low amount of these out there, but maybe more than initially thought. So, yeah, I may be regretting that decision. Maybe I won't. Time will tell. We'll find out here. But I do think that this is going to be probably your number one Hot 10 list book this week for sure. That'll be at the top of the list. I don't doubt it. So I just wanted to get this information out to you guys quick. Maybe you could call your local comic book shop and find out if they ordered 50 copies of Joker number 2. They may not even be aware that they're getting this 1 in 50 variant. So, you can maybe make a deal with your shop owner and say, hey, I'll give you $100 for that book that you're going to get that you don't even know you're getting. Maybe, if you're their source of information, they may give you a deal. So I would say if you could get this at your local comic book shop for, at least $100. I mean, maybe you can get it for 50. I don't see anybody selling this for $50 near ratio. No way. But who knows? Maybe there's a shop owner that just doesn't care, doesn't like DC or whatever. I don't know. But try to see if you can get a good deal. I don't think $225 was a great deal, but I'm happy with it for now. Like I said, I could be regretting it later. We'll see. It won't be the last time I make a mistake. So I just thought I'd get that information out to you guys as quickly as possible. I will shoot a video tomorrow, New Comic Book Day. Be going over that for next Wednesday. That's going to be April, I think, 21st. So I'll have that information out for you. And I am going to try to get John Guillong on the channel this week for a live stream. I've messaged him on Instagram. I know he's a busy guy. He said last week that he'd try to make time for me this week. So hopefully I can get him on the show. We'll talk art. We'll dive into his process of how he creates the fantastic cover images that he does. And I'll be on here at least for Thursday's show, Whiskey, Cigar, and Comics. Stay tuned, guys. Leave comments. Let me know what you guys think. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think of this video. What do you think of this book? Do you think it's worth spending a little money on it or maybe waiting? I'd like to hear your comments. All right, guys. I'll see you soon.